largely adopted in a silent way that the law student who might chance to read it, not knowing of the comment of Madison and its rejection by all commentators, would be tempted to speak of the Constitution of the United States as the Constitution of Pinckney. The reason why the Pinckney Draught has received so little attention, and he has received no credit at all for what apparently is an extraordinary piece of constitutional work, can be readily explained. The statement of Madison is written in temperate and guarded terms, and it is manifest that he was careful to speak with courtesy of Pinckney, and to furnish an explanation in the nature of a bridge over which the friends of Pinckney, then deceased, might retreat. But what he does say instantly brings the reader's mind to the conclusion that the paper in the State Department is not the paper, that it is not a substantial copy of the paper which was before the convention. Story had been appointed by Madison, and it was not for Story to accept what Madison rejected, and Story was so great a man, so great a judge and commentator, that it was not for lesser men to reverse him. Madison's comment, and Story's silence, have united to condemn the draft so effectively that while printed and reprinted it has been as unnoted as if it had never been written. The final judicial edict of George Bancroft expressed the general judgment when he wrote of the original draft which was actually before the convention, no part of it was used, and no copy of it has been preserved. Moreover, Madison is too great an authority to be lightly questioned, the highest authority that exists concerning the proceedings of the convention, and he asserts and undertakes to demonstrate that the one paper cannot be a true copy of the other. He designates provisions which he says originated in the convention and could not have been predetermined by Pinckney, and still more conclusively, as he thinks, he points to the fact that the paper in the department contains provisions to which Pinckney was himself opposed, provisions against which he spoke and voted in the convention. Here Madison builds his bridge. Mr. Pinckney, he suggests, furnished this copy many years after the event, nearly 32 years, after he had become an old man and the record of events had faded in his memory, and probably, as the work of the convention went on, he had used a copy of his draft as a memorandum and had interlined in it provisions which the convention framed. And when he sent the copy to the Secretary of State he had forgotten this, or had gradually come to regard the interlined matter as his own. A writer like Story, with the training of a lawyer and a judge, on finding the authenticity of the copy impeached in part, would be almost certain to exclude it wholly from the consideration of the jury. Historical analysis and research may, nevertheless, render that clear which is obscure, and show us where the work of Pinckney begins and ends. There are some extrinsic facts which hitherto unknown should be noted. In the first place, this letter of Pinckney anticipates one of Madison's criticisms and explains away his strongest point. It may be necessary to remark, he says, that very soon after the convention met, I changed and avowed candidly the change of my opinion on giving the power to Congress to revise the state laws in certain cases, and in giving the exclusive power to the Senate to declare war, thinking it safest to refuse the first altogether and vest the latter in Congress. Hunt's Madison, 3, page 22. As to one of these things concerning which Pinckney says he changed his mind after the convention met, the power of Congress to revise the laws of the states, the assertion is not sustained by Madison's record of the proceedings. He undoubtedly did change his mind, but not until after the adjournment of the convention.